Let's go. Yo, what is up? I just came back from a fun event a couple of weeks ago. You might have heard of it. Beers and Cameras. This time it was in Chicago. And I fucking loved every second of it. There are so many people out here shooting so many cameras. I love it. I love every second of it. It's just so tight right now. Everybody. Everybody. And on this video, we're going to discuss some of the near misses, the near hits, some of the dope photos I got, the film I shot, the cameras I used, the places I went, and all the cool people I got to meet along the way. So welcome to video number 2. All right, so Beers and Cameras is a wonderful organization that does just that, beers and cameras and these different events where a lot of different, usually film photographers link up and we all look at each other's cameras and take pictures and talk and meet with each other. It's kind of like summer camp, but for adults, which is tight. Even though it doesn't always have to happen in the summer. I loved it. I think it's the first time that I've ever been around this many film photographers and other creative people, and I just kind of love being in that energy. It gets me excited. It gets me excited to create and do more, and so it's exactly what I did. On day one, I knew that I was gonna only really want to use 2 cameras. I wanted to use a 35mm and also a medium format. So I brought this one with me for my 35 option on the first day, which is the... When it starts raining, you gotta be ready to change and adapt, baby. Lady Gray. Then we got the Nikon waterproof boy. This is the Nikon Action Touch. It's one of the first cameras I got when I started getting into photography for film a little more seriously. It's a 35mm camera, point and shoot. But here's the trick, it shoots underwater. And with it raining a bunch, I knew that this made sense to use. I already had some Lady Gray from Lomo loaded up, which is the first time I was shooting it, but I really liked the way the pictures turned out, and it made sense for the rain. It kind of fit that dreary mood, so let's check out some of those black and white rainy photos. So here's some quirks of the camera. It's got a 2.8 35mm lens on it, which is super nice. The frame lines inside are Gucci. I like them. They are bright. It's got a nice little flash on it. You can either do autofocus or you can do manual focus on the top. It's got feet and meters. Feet are for us here in America. Meters are for all y'all others. All right, will you please tell me that feet are better than meters?
Feet on OnlyFans make more money than meters on OnlyFans. That makes them better.
Camera shoots underwater, so you want to be, if you're going to be shooting underwater with it or you're going to have too much water in the way of the autofocus, then you definitely need to use the zone focus up here at the top. It's great. I've shot a couple of different underwater things with it. I'll show a couple of photos, but I usually like to use it during rain because I think it's one of those times where I'm usually afraid to bring my other cameras out, but for me, this one gets the job done. It's raining. It's raining bad, man. I want to shoot the medium format. I want to, but I cannot. So it's gonna have to be this boy right here. I also don't have an umbrella, so that's on me. So the forecast said it was only going to rain for a little bit. I knew that once the rain stopped, I was going to want to shoot something slightly different. So I ended up still also doing black and white because I figured it'd be cloudy. I chose XX because the girl at the camera store was telling me that Eraserhead was shot on XX. I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. So Cinestill XX loaded up in the beast, the one, the only, Makina 6.7. Top secret vlog update. It's sunny out now. Look at it. Oh my God. More dynamic photos or worse? We're gonna find out. Let's go. Oh my God. This giant camera right here produces a 6.7 negative. It is a 2.8 on the lens, which is great because that means that I can do a lot more handheld stuff and I don't need to bring my tripod. And it folds up. This camera is huge, and during the time at Beers and Camera, I talked with a lot of different people about it. Some people I've seen online have sold theirs or gotten rid of them, which made me worried, but I talked to at least 2 people who had just got them, were super happy with them, and were gonna keep them forever. And this boy is big, chunky, and mechanical, and I kind of want to keep it forever as well, but I just worry that I see so many other people getting rid of it. Woo, just look at Taylor, this is yours, right? Like, look at, oh my God. Woo. That's crazy. The last camera that I used while I was out on this trip was my Contax Tvs. I'll talk about this camera more later in another video where I can focus on it. But from the last video that I did, or the last time that I was in Chicago, I still had some film left in here. So I just did some Superior 400 to kind of get through that roll. I knew I was going back to Chicago 2 weeks apart from each other, so it made sense for me to just kind of go ahead and get it done. I mean, I know it's a cliche, but I gotta have to, right? Cheers. Hello, it is me from the editing desk. It is me, it is the editing desk. I'm using this camera at the very end of this video, and there's a portion where I say cheers after having some beer, and I'm not gonna blame it on the alcohol. I'm gonna blame it on my ineptitude as a photographer sometimes. I took a bunch of super trash photos and could not figure out why. So I grabbed my camera and I did some investigates. And the thing is that with the Contax Tvs here on the aperture ring, you get P, program mode. So once you get there, you know, you snap off, and it's going to use the best settings to get you the best photo possible. Also, if you have the flash on, it's going to use the flash, right? But as you get away from P and select one of the apertures, it itself will just decide that it's going to use the aperture that you put on there and the flash. So I've been showing the camera off to a bunch of people and being very excited, and I turned the old knob there from P to whatever aperture I decided to pick, who knows what it was. So every photo I take gives me the flash, and then it gives me a nice long exposure with very shaky hands. These next 10 pictures are all gonna be ass. It's all on me. But I wanna share these because, you know, they're not all good. I got a lot I really liked, but I also got some that were trash. The manager has come to say hi again. Say hello, Mr. Manager. Hello. He says hello. Okay, back onto my lap. On to the suck. Those pictures were super butt. Just wanted to say thanks for hanging out. Thanks for checking out this video. You've made it all the way here to the end. So, you know, subscribe, like, comment, do all of those YouTube things for me because I do want some good feedback. I do want a little group of people to talk to about these different photos and these different cameras, kind of like what was happening at the Beers and Camera situation. But here, online, I just want to talk with you guys. I want to nerd out. So stick around for the next video where I take my Makina 6.7 to a thing called Bike Party. It's going to be a good time.